So while my hot tub's heating up, I figured I'd do a quick video just taking a look at this chainsaw mill that I picked up. I have one of the original Alaskan mills that I've had for about 15 years now, and I wanted longer rails on it, so I went looking for rails for the original one, and it turned out that I could buy this made in China one from Amazon. Vivor, I think, is the company that sells it. It's got the same rails on it that this one has. So I figured for the same price, I can get an entire mill that does 36-inch bar. And I'll give you my honest opinion of it, because like I said, I do have the original. And so I can do a side-by-side comparison of the construction methods and the quality of the unit. So I'm just going to get you guys set up somewhere else, and then I'll get back. So yeah, like I said, I've got the original Granberg, I believe it is, Alaskan sawmill. And then I've got this new unit here. So, as I said, it is made in China. On Amazon Canada, it was 150 bucks. And it was going to cost more than that from any site that I found that was selling the actual Granberg rails and handle. So I figured from the few reviews that I saw on this unit, it would be worthwhile spending 150 bucks and getting all of this, and then I can, who knows, maybe I can leave this as a 24, set this one up, and then I've got two mills and I don't have to worry about using the 36-inch mill when I'm doing smaller pieces. I don't know, it's kind of silly to think that way, but get your little owner's manual. So, hey, look at that. I even give you a free pair of gloves. See if they fit. Or these are for smaller hands. It's been sitting out here in the cold, so they're kind of stiff. Not the highest quality, but still, it's a nice little touch. They do fit. Look at that. Like I said, they're not top quality gloves, but better than a kick in the arse, I suppose. Well, we're going to put some pieces, so we'll take a look at the handle first. For the most part, I can't see there being a whole lot of difference, because really it's a pretty straightforward design. I think it's going to be in the fit and finish, really. The handle looks identical. Yeah, so as far as the handle goes, I don't see much difference in it. I'll bring that over here and take another look at it. This feels like it might be a little lighter. I guess right out of the gate, one of the differences is that this is just chromed steel. Let's see. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. It's a different gauge steel, so it's a lighter duty construction for sure, which I kind of expected. And you know, like I said, it's the attention to detail and fit and finish. It's not bad for the price of it. It's not too bad. I'll grab it over here and show you what I've discovered so far. So, if we take a look at these side by side here, you can see definitely a thinner gauge metal. And like I said, this is just a chrome steel, where this is galvanized. So I haven't used this mill a whole lot, because I got this, did some milling with it for some projects that I had to do I need some posts and stuff like that, and some for post and beam. But then it sort of got put away, so it's kind of been in storage for probably 10 years, or at least 6 or 7 since I got the mill. Once I got the mill, I didn't have much use for this. But now, because the mill itself only does, like, at a maximum, if I really work at it, I can get maybe a 21-inch cut or a 21-inch wide board. And I've started getting access to some larger logs recently through some tree work and stuff. And so I wanted to be able to do 36 inches wide. So that's why I've gone and bought the rails for it, and in the process gotten a whole other machine. So we've got a cross piece here. So that's the rail. So that is identical. So that's the stuff that I'm after. And these two pieces here, they're longer pieces that are the same as this here, which is your aluminum, I don't know what you call it, but it's got track for adjusting the length of the cut or the length of the bar. And then this part here, which is kind of like a handle. It helps to stabilize it, I suppose, and it works as a handle as well. That again, we're back into just the chromed steel, so I can see this starting to rust after not too many. One season I think you get out of it before you're going to start getting rust and stuff, because it's going to get dinged up. And maybe water, since it's got the caps on it, if moisture gets inside, then it can start rusting on the inside of them as well. It is identical, just those little differences. Galvanized over here, heavier gauge for the main structure itself, for the uprates, for these pieces here. This, I imagine, I'm not going to take this off or the caps off. I imagine they're probably identical in size. The cross members here that hold the bar mounts and the gauge, and they both have it. So Granberg has it etched, a measuring tape, in inches. I believe it's in inches. Yeah. Where this one here, it is etched, but I suspect that etching, doesn't really go much deeper than the chrome itself. So that could end up being a bit of an issue, but really, who doesn't have a tape measure? So this piece here, if I put that beside it, it does look almost identical. So, taking a look at that, there, so it looks very similar. Like, obviously there's slight differences just in the mold and the shape that they went with. This isn't quite as tall as this one. As far as the quality of the aluminum, can't help you there because I don't know how to judge that, if there is any way of figuring that out. So you got two of those that are, this is going to do the job for sure. Time will tell if I use it as to how long it works. When you get into these skid piece or the other, sorry, get my hand out of the way there. The other parts of the mount, the bottom section of the part the bar holds, or that holds the bar. So I have the rail there, but the handle, you can see down here, you've got a piece down here, a piece here. So this would be that piece. And again, into the chrome versus galvanized. Still a bigger gauge than this one is. This one's kind of handy because it's nice. This is nice with the track on it. They don't have that one on this one. Oh wait, my mistake. This is the back piece that goes along the side of the board. So this will be running along the side of the log. So there's two of those and two of the other ones. I think that looks comparable. The caveat being chrome versus galvanized steel. Also, if you look in here, you've got a little molded piece of aluminum there and there to go over top of. I'm not sure that that's, yes it is, so that's in there as well. Those are in the bag. I don't know if you can see that or not. And it comes with a couple of tools, extra stuff, and all the other parts. So one of the complaints that I read, they were talking about the screws, and I'm thinking that maybe it's the bolts that go inside there. It's hard to say without looking at the instructions, which I don't feel like getting into at the moment. I'll take a look at it. Again, I'm not even certain that I'm going to be setting this one up, or if I'm just going to take these rails and put them on here and be done with it. A lot less work and effort for me. But having now said that, if I was to be buying one now, I don't know that I would pay the extra money for this. It's American made, which I like. I'm in Canada, so I try to buy Canadian made if I can. I prefer to support the local economy. But sometimes you have to look at costs. And when you're paying 3 times as much for something, you know, especially nowadays with the mess that the government has left us in, sometimes you have to say, okay, well, I'm going to have to buy this Chinese-made piece of equipment. So I do believe, you know, there may be end up needing to be some tweaking done to it, or maybe some modifications to make it last longer, to last as long as the Granberg would last. But at the end of the day, it's about making lumber. It's about milling a log into boards. And my first impression of this thing would be that it would definitely do the job. I may decide that I'm going to set it up just for the hell of it, and if I do, then I'll do an actual review of how it works and how it went together. But for now, anybody who's looking for one of these, it's worth considering if you can afford it. If your budget isn't too tight, go with the original. Definitely, you know, buy a North American. Like, it's your economy, right? So if you're an American, you're supporting your own economy rather than sending your money to another country. I can't say for certain that the Granberg is made in the US. I haven't looked at their website in a while, and I don't see anything on here. Safety, torque specs. I haven't seen anything on here that would indicate necessarily that this is, oh wait, here we go. Oh, look at that. This is Canadian. Granberg is a Canadian company. Richmond. Oh no, there's 2. Richmond, California, and Vancouver, BC. Granberg. So I guess they have it is an American company. But it doesn't say made in the US anywhere. So just like with the Woodland Mills, I don't know for certain, but it's a Canadian company as far as I recall. But I suspect the mills themselves are probably made in China. It's just the way of the world right now, I suppose. But I'm rambling on now about this because, well, it is something that matters to me. It was a tough decision for me to buy this, just because of that. But sometimes you just got to do what's in your best interest. and realize that this is, as I've said a couple of times, I believe, this is just the world we live in now, and it's a global economy, and really, we have a lot of stuff that we buy that is made in China, but that's just because either it's not being made here, or it's just not cost effective for companies to operate here. There's all kinds of politics you can get into on that whole subject, and I don't really feel like getting into it. So I'll leave it at that and say that if you go on Amazon, let's put in chainsaw mill or something like that into the search parameters, you'll probably find it in there, and you flip through it, and different lengths and sizes and stuff. And like I said, originally I found one that was $180 for a 24-inch one, and then I found this one for $150. Same, but $40 cheaper. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was and you appreciated the video, then please consider checking out my channel and possibly subscribing if that's something that you're willing to do, because it does help to get the videos out so that more people will see them, and then it makes it more worthwhile to be putting in the time. Also, at the very least, if you could just at least click on the little thumbs up icon there, leave a comment, leave a question, and like I said, my hot tub I think is probably ready by now. It's been almost 20 minutes that I've been talking to this camera here, so I'm going to go get in the hot tub. And if you'd like to see the hot tub that I'm getting into, once again, check out my channel.